let's talk a little bit about this incitement to violence. The Supreme Court in an earlier judgment has said that it is not sedition unless it's seen to incite violence. Now, you're saying how you incite violence is a very broad-based set of interpretations. It's not just the physical act of violence. And would you want, therefore, any new law to define this specifically? Because the law commission in its recommendations had actually recommended adding this line about incitement to violence, which so far we do not see in the bill.
No, but the Law Commission wanted to retain sedition. The Law Commission wanted to, if it had been retained in the original form, then again, any disaffection against the government would amount to... I think it's an attempt. I'm not saying it's a perfect attempt, but it is an attempt to improve the situation. I mean, nobody can, neither Varka, you nor I, would support anybody who attempts to, excite secession or armed rebellion or subversive activities.
Of course.
I mean, I think on these three, there can be no problem. It's only when it comes to encourages feeling of separatist activities. How that is defined, I think either the courts will have to define it or the legislature will have to define it. I have something else. 3 very important bills have come in today.
Yes.
Without any discussion. I mean, when such important bills are being presented to Parliament, I think there should have been some discussion in the legal circles somewhere else. I don't see much. That is where, things can be improved. Even now, it's only a bill. I don't see it as making the offense wider than sedition as it was. Definitely, it makes it narrower. It is a more... it's a definition closer to what I would support, much closer to what I would support.
Well, that is an improvement, but what leaves you concerned is the fact that there's been no debate on such a wide-ranging reform.
Yeah, I really feel that before such, views of people who matter, views of the general public, views of concerned people, I'm not talking only of lawyers and judges, views of people who matter, who really think about the country should be taken into consideration. And I'm not sure, there may be some good parts of these bills, there may be not so good parts of these bills, but we need to discuss them and study them much more before,
Yeah. So broadly what concerns you is...
Barka, I am not sure. I shouldn't be topping. I'm not sure, but I don't think these bills have been put out in the public domain before. Are you aware if they've been put in the public domain before?
As far as I know, I don't think so, but I'd have to check that. That as well.
I don't know whether the Law Commission did it, but then it should have been a much wider discussion. These laws require some changes. I'm not saying that they don't require changes. We have to change with times. But then there should be some discussion. These are very, very important laws which will affect every person. And I think that, but as far as this section goes, definitely for me, Section 150 of the new bill is a definite improvement on 124A.
So I think what you're saying is it seems to be moving in the right direction and one should welcome that. But the fact that there's an entire IPC that's being recast is something that should have been placed in the public domain for public participation in that debate before it was sought to be made into law.
Yeah, I'm not talking about a referendum, but people, it could have been sent to former judges, retired judges. What are their views? Have they sent?
Yes.
Those views could have been asked for. I'm not sure. At least nobody asked for my views. If somebody else's views have been asked for,
all right, sir. I think that you make a valid point, and I think we were all taken by surprise at the fact that the IPC was going to be recast suddenly, and you're saying that could have been a more participatory process with experts, and I think that point is well taken. But on sedition, on this particular section, you think it is a distinct improvement on the law that used to exist.
Definitely, yeah. And this is a welcome surprise, if I may put it. It's
all right. Okay, yeah. And we'll have you back, sir, when you've had a chance to look at the entire new proposed legislation.
Just before I go off, I just want to know, because I've not studied it. I don't know whether it is a cognizable offense, whether the magistrate can take complaint only on the complaint of a police officer. Like previously, Deepak Gupta says Barkha Dutt has committed sedition and some magistrate in Kerala takes up notice. Those safeguards also need to be put in place.